These are some of the most challenging times that we have ever faced. The current political climate threatens reproductive health, rights, justice, and access to the services that we all care about.
We're going to do a informational hearing today in light of what's going on in Washington, D.C. and the threats to defunding of Planned Parenthood.
In California, access to abortion services is basically a constitutionally protected right. It is a fundamental right in your state constitution. And I would just offer this to you. If that right is taken away from us fundamentally, what's next? So today's focus was women's health and women's reproductive health. And so we heard amazing testimony from a woman, Novelin, who is a Planned Parenthood LA patient.
Last February, I found a lump in my right armpit. We had a lapse in our health care insurance coverage, and I knew I couldn't wait a month to see my primary care provider. So I called Planned Parenthood because I knew I could see them immediately. Planned Parenthood patients can get the same day or next day appointments, and that is very important when life depends on how quickly you get care.
She was clear in her testimony that we all have to be educated about the variety of services that Planned Parenthood provides.
I proudly marched at the LA Women's March with a sign that read, "Planned Parenthood found my breast cancer."
Planned Parenthood was there for her when she needed them the most. And our job, and I feel my job as a policymaker, is to make sure that women have access to health care on demand.
Politicians in Washington, are you listening? Are you listening to your constituents? I stand with Planned Parenthood because they saved my life. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share my story.
We need to get the community involved. If you look at what's happening throughout the country, there's a lot of anger.
What are you going to do with the information you learn today to protect access to reproductive health services for women across the great state of California, starting now?
What they have to do, they have to organize. They have to voice their opinion. They have to become involved politically. But more importantly, they have to speak to their elected representatives, especially those in Congress, and let them know how important these services are. I have a renewed sense of democracy in this country because of all the people I've heard voicing their concern, from the Women's March to the immigration issues to health care. It is the people of this country who have spoken loud and clear to their federal representatives, don't take away our services.